This is Movies in Contemplation with Jirach and...
Oh, am I talking to?
Jesus, yeah. Hello, everybody. Welcome back.
Bonjour, mon amours.
Mon amis, maronitos, sondona.
What were you saying there?
I don't know. Hi, everybody. Wonderful day today.
Yes.
We've got ourselves a Cali pick.
We do.
Yeah.
Today's pick is Factory Girl. Came out in 2006. Starring Sienna Miller, Guy Pearce. Directed by George Hickenlooper.
Hickenlooper. Writers of Captain Mausner. Captain. The Captain.
Is that a first name?
Captain.
Like,
Mausner.
Literally, it says Captain.
Yeah, and Simon Monjack. Monjack.
Monjack.
I like Monjack. We're going to call him Monjack.
Monjack.
Moni Jack.
Yeah. Anyway.
Moving on.
Let's talk about the wine.
Let's talk about it.
Today, give me that, please. Thank you. We got Troublemaker, red blend.
Troublemaker.
Troublemaker. You know who you are. Intensely rich, velvety smooth, sneaky good.
Oh.
Ooh! I haven't even read this yet. This is kind of perfect for this movie, actually.
Is.
Very Edie. Very nice.
Velvety smooth.
Yeah, it was kind of like a on special wine at the store, so pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
First time we've had it before.
Yeah, first time I've ever seen it.
Yeah.
Never seen anything like it.
You've never seen anything like it?
Never. All right, now it's time for the handy dandy Shakespearean notebook. Notebook.
Yeah.
All right.
Today's insult: spongy, nook, shotten, geck. It's a soft, full of nooks and angles, confusing, deceptive, dupe, fool, object of scorn.
Oh.
These are some good ones. So think about these.
Spongy, nook-shotten, geck.
Nookshotten. That's I immediately go dirty.
Yeah, you nook-shotten.
Oh.
All right, let's start us off, Callie.
Yes.
All right, what does this movie mean to you?
It really means a lot to me. I really didn't know anything about Edie Sedgwick before I saw this film. I knew, just like everyone else, knew of Andy Warhol and knew his signature stuff, but really didn't get interested in that type of art until I got introduced to this film. I watched it with an ex of mine like 10 years ago. He was really into this movie. He really loved Andy Warhol because they grew up in the same town and went to the same college. And when I watched it, I was just so enamored by Sienna Miller and her portrayal of this charismatic, beautiful, tragic person's real life person. Yeah. And just the era, and it just made me want to learn more about Edie Sedgwick and Andy Warhol, so I just started doing my research, and a lot of crazy shit went down during this time, but I fell in love with her because I really kind of identify with her a lot. Edie Sedgwick was very self-aware, like almost a little too self-aware, and I guess we'll get into that. And she just had this, she was the it girl in the mid-60s. She had this thing, this it factor, and she knew that she had all this amazing talent, but she also had this crazy insecurity about herself that she didn't know how to go out there and make her talents come out. She didn't know what to do with it, and she would go through other people trying to get it out of her or help her along the way. She really did need a lot of help and all that. So very insecure girl, yeah. But that self-saboteur was always there, and that's very me. And oh my god, and just the fashion, the makeup, the art, the photography, and just the art, it's just so gorgeous. Yeah. I love the mid-60s to early 70s era so much because of the fashion, the art, the music, especially the Doors. Yeah. Love the Doors. Touch me, babe. So, I actually ended up stealing the DVD from my ex because I liked the movie so much.
Good for you.
Yeah, thanks.
Good for you.
Never said anything, so.
Yes. Until now.
Yeah, but did you know about this movie before
No.
me? No, not at all.
Nope. I didn't know anything about this movie. I didn't. The only thing I knew about Edie Sedgwick was that you have the poster mantle of her
Yes.
in our house, in our home.
Yeah.
And I've only known of Andy Warhol. I never gave two shits, honestly, to know much about him.
Mm-hmm.
But I knew of him, obviously. Everybody knows his look.
His look, his pop art,
and everything.
Cans of beans, cans of soup.
Yeah, it's just something that I do. I don't know much else, but maybe you can enlighten me. Sit in the chair for me.
That's a pretty good Andy there.
Thank you.
Very good. Thank you.
you.
You even have your fingers like on your lower lip and just massaging under there.
Yeah.
Oh God. Okay.
Go for the chin.
Go for the chin.
Okay. So, what else is there to know?
Well, it's not surprising that you didn't really know much about this film. This film got a lot of shit.
Did it?
Oh my God.
Did it?
A lot of people
Do tell.
hated it.
Oh, do tell.
Because they had nothing to do with the actors.
Mm-hmm.
It really was the director.
Oh.
Mr.
Hickenlooper?
Yeah. Everyone thought that they did not portray, he did not portray Edie the correct way. They kind of were saying that he made her out to be this really high society good girl with her pearls and her little girl knee socks and going into New York City and being corrupted by men and the art and drugs and stuff.
Is that not how she was?
Not really. It's kind of a gray area. Like, I do want to focus a lot on the movie, and I will kind of say like a few things that are like factual and not that factual. I don't want this just to be like a fact checking episode, you know what I mean?
Not.
But just a lot of people that knew Edie and knew of her, because you can also watch on YouTube like all of her interviews and one of her, like, if you really want to see the real Edie, watch, it was the last film she ever did was Chow Manhattan. And it was pretty much her kind of like playing herself. Oh. And it's an interesting movie. I haven't watched it in like 10 years actually. But I really wanted to re-watch it, but I just didn't get a chance to. And I believe that Sienna Miller, even though Sienna Miller looked a little older than Edie was at the time, she was really spot on. Mm-hmm. Like, she got her movement, the way she like danced, her posture, the voice.
Yeah.
This cute little thing she would do with her fingers in her mouth, like under her teeth. She would do that a lot. And she had the look. She had that really nice, like, thin frame. I just thought it was one of my favorite roles that I think Sienna Miller has done besides
Stardust.
Stardust? Right.
Stardust.
Sorry. God, what was that other one that she was in? She was like the Hitchcock girl. It was
The Yellow Jacket.
No, The Girl. I think it was called The Girl. HBO's.
Isn't that the one with the movie and then Sean Connery was in that one?
Sean Connery was not.
No, not in the movie with Sienna Miller, but in the movie that they're trying to portray.
Yes, yeah. It was the actress's name was Tippy something, and she was the like it girl of.
Was that movie like
Hitchcock.
Annie or some shit?
Hitchcock. No, I don't remember.
Not Annie. It's a name.
It was The Birds.
Oh, it was The Birds.
The Birds was her first Hitchcock film, and then that other one that you were talking about. I can't remember the...
Like Marilyn?
Like Mandy or something.
No,
something like that.
It doesn't matter.
Oh my God.
Fuck it.
It's fine.
Moving on.
It'll probably pop in my head at some point.
Pop in. Like 4 episodes from now.
Yeah, 4. Oh my God, 4 episodes from now. Hey!
It'll pop in. Oh, remember what we talked
But also, Guy Pearce.
Oh, yeah.
I thought he did really well playing Andy Warhol.
I love Guy Pearce.
Yeah, he's an amazing actor. It really puts me in the mode of why I love acting and performing. It's like doing all the research and putting your own little spin, but also trying to be as authentic as you possibly can. To the character, especially when you're playing someone that was actually alive, you know. So I agree that a lot of the parts of the movie, it was kind of like, this is a film that you would watch to get you interested in these two characters. Because if you don't know anything, then you're going to be really lost.
Guilty.
Yes, and I totally get that because I was lost too.
Yeah.
It was just like all these things that happened in the film, it was never explained why. Mm-hmm. It was just, okay, well, this was a time in her life when this happened. Okay, so then let's piece in this part, let's piece in that part.
Yeah.
And it could, I don't know. I agree it could have done so much better on that end, but it just has this close place in my heart because of the acting and of the love that it gave me for Edie Sedgwick.
Yeah.
So let's just break down the film and from here, if I have little notes of like fact stuff, but we'll see what I decide to do. We're just gonna go with the flow. So the opening of the film, it kind of like it starts at the end. You see Sienna Miller running in the street. It's a busy street. And as Edie, she says that she was at a party and a fortune teller was there and looked at her palm. The fortune teller was kind of surprised and scared, and then Edie's like, I know. My lifeline is broken. I know I'm not going to live by the time I'm 30. And that's true. That did happen. Like one of the, I think it was like one of the last parties she's ever been to, like that.
Was she like 28? Because we were watching, because in the film, her brother, and they have like little interviews.
At the end,
and I thought I remembered her brother saying that she died at 28 or 29.
Yeah.
It was one of those.
Pretty close to becoming 30. Yeah.
So, yeah.
And then we get a little shot of Edie, and you can tell she looks a little older. She's got long brown hair. Mm-hmm. She's dressed a little more conservative, and this is pretty much all through her perspective. It's her telling her story of how the rise and fall of Edie Sedgwick, I guess. That's the only word I could think of to talk about it. But she was born in high society, family very rich. She grew up in Santa Barbara, bunch of siblings. She has a family line of artists as well, so being an artist ran in the family. So she never really had to do much to get where she was. You know, like she was a very talented artist, and she went to Cambridge for college, and it wasn't really giving her the experience that she wanted as an artist. She really wanted to go out there and really be the artist that she thinks she needs to be, because she grew up having everything handed to her. And I think in her mind it was, in order to be a good artist, I have to be out in the city, being the whole starving artist thing.
No.
I mean, why not? But the best place for her to go to is New York. Mm-hmm. Why not?
Yeah.
So she drops out. A friend of hers, Sid, is almost trying to convince her not to go. You can kind of tell he's got this little crush on her.
Yeah.
And she brings...
That's the kid from The Faculty, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. We do see him again. But she moves to New York in 1964 with her good friend Chuck, played by Jimmy Fallon.
Oh!
What? What was that? Oh.
I don't have a problem with Jimmy Fallon. He's a much better Tonight Show host or whatever night show host than he is an actor. So we'll just leave it at that.
Yeah, I've never really been a fan of Jimmy Fallon's acting. He definitely was miscast in this role, but he did his best.
Yeah.
Did his best. But he also came from money to very snobby rich guy, and they ended up knowing the right kind of people.
See, but that's what I didn't understand so were they invited to the factory? How did they get there? I was like, what?
They got, kind of like in the movie, they went to a party, and it was, I don't know, actual facts. Either they were introduced at a party, or in the film, it was one of Andy's show openings. He's trying to get people to buy his art.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Yeah.
So it was that Carrie Ellis scene.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes,
yeah.
Carrie Ellis. I think Carrie Ellis plays Andy's agent or manager or something like that. But before the scene we're getting to, there's a scene of Edie getting ready. Mm-hmm. Now, it's a known fact that Edie Sedgwick took hours to get ready. She would show up 7 hours late to things because she always had to have the right makeup And she made it iconic. The huge black top eyeliner. She had the dark eyebrows. Always a nude lip.
Yeah.
Pencil in that little Marilyn
Mole
thing. And she didn't really have her hair cut at the time. She had that long brown hair. But she would just take forever to get ready. And that's a true thing. But back to the opening... It's so funny, and it's just like it is kind of random with like certain people that are in this film because all like randomly it's Ashley Olsen.
Yeah, that took me back. I was like, "What the fuck are you doing in here?"
Yeah, and she's this snobby rich girl. Like, oh God, Andy, what do these people know about art? They're just so boring and blasé or whatever. She's like, but he's just like, yeah, but they have money, so they need to be buying art. Like, I think he's just getting upset that a lot of people aren't buying his art.
Yeah.
You know.
Nobody likes trash cans.
No.
Nobody likes can of beans. Haven't they ever seen a Campbell's commercial?
So Carrie Ellis actually introduces Andy Warhol to Edie. I don't know if this is a true fact or not, but in the film, Carrie Ellis is like, you have to meet this woman. She is so adorable. She's so fascinating. She comes from old money.
Old money?
Old money, yeah. Like, she has ancestors who, like, signed the Declaration of Independence.
Oh, shit.
Like, she's a descendant of a lot of shit. So money, you know, she never
Spare no expense.
Spare no expense. Yep. So Andy sees her, and she's doing this dance. She's in this gorgeous net dress, no bra. You can clearly see her chest, but she's just like, the way she moves, it's just so gorgeous, and she's in a pretty much in a crowd of other men just fawning over her, and she's getting her picture taken, and you could tell she really loves the attention. And she actually she sees Andy as well, and she comes up to him. Well, she kind of goes through Carrie Ellis, like, oh, hey, darling, oh, good to see you.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, here's Andy Warhol. Like, oh, it's so wonderful to meet you. I think everything that you do is just so amazing. And he is just so taken aback by her. And he's like, even before she came up to him, he was like, oh my gosh, she's so beautiful. I've never seen a girl with so many problems. You can already tell that she's like a beautiful mess.
Yeah.
You know, but they hit it off right away. They get so fascinated by each other, and they just clicked, and they pretty much kind of came like inseparable a little after that, because he's like, oh, I would love for you to come to my factory and be one of my movies. And she's like, oh, well, but what do I have to do in one of your movies? He's like, oh, just be yourself. Well, which one? I love that line.
Which one?
I love that line. I was like...
It's true, though.
It's true. It's like, same.
It's true. Which one of me?
So she gets invited to the factory. Her and Chuck go. Chuck's kind of like there as her chaperone. I mean, you don't know what you're walking into, of course. But they go into the elevator. What kind of level was that? Like a maintenance elevator?
Yeah.
And there's like hay on the floor. She's like, what's with all the hay? He's like, oh, we're making a cowboy movie.
Yeah. So fucking bizarre.
Yeah, so you get into the factory, and of course, if you don't know anything about the factory, listeners, it was all silver. Silver walls, silver everything. Everything was silver. And you see these crazy characters around the studio, and you get kind of introduced to a couple people that are kind of in the part of the factory family. That one, I can't remember her name, Bridget, she was the one that drew pictures of cocks.
Oh yeah, she drew pictures of cocks. She was topless.
Yeah, she had her
goods were out.
Her goods were out. She like shoots up something up her ass, and she's like, "Bridge, what if the cops come?" So who put the sign down? Someone put the sign and said like no loitering and no drugs.
Oh yeah,
like that's gonna stop people from doing drugs.
Put the sign down, Bridge.
Yeah, Bridge.
Oh
But and also Bridget, her family, I believe, is really rich as well. So Andy, he does like to surround himself with people that do have money because he grew up really poor. His father was a coal miner. He grew up in Pittsburgh, just had no money, very awkward socially. And I feel like that's why Edie and Andy loved each other so much, because they each represented who they aren't. So they mush them together and they make one crazy, amazing, artistic, but odd person. So that's how I interpret why they clicked so much. Yeah. And I think that they also both felt that they can get something from each other too. Like it wasn't all just like infatuation. It was like, oh, you have money, or oh, you are an artist, like a true artist, and I want to be one too. Right. Help me, kind of thing. She. Pretty much like the cowboy movie, it is really weird. They have a horse, and the guys are being like a little sexual with the horse.
I thought they were gonna go fuck the horse.
Yeah.
Like I seriously thought that's
well,
what
there were
was
even
happening.
cue cards saying
walk up to the horse
sexually.
Yeah, and it was like, what the fuck?
Yeah, the only really like funny part was like the phone rang, and Andy Warhol went into shot. And, like, answered the phone and just started talking to him, like, while filming. And he got, like, interviewed and saying, like, well, yeah, because I just want to make films real. Like, I like to have, like, my boom mics in shot. And I like to just do things differently.
He was such a fucking bizarre cat.
He was.
I mean, honestly, I did, like, do a little... I watched an interview of him because I wanted to understand how Guy Pearce and even Sienna Miller were... is portraying these two.
Right. You wanted to see
So I wanted to see,
thing.
how... And you're absolutely right. I didn't watch a lot of Edie Sedgwick's, like, interview, but you're absolutely right about Sienna Miller. She was, like, spot on. And Guy Pearce pretty much had it, too. But I think he was a little more tamed.
Oh.
Than how the real Andy Warhol was.
Yeah.
Like, when I watched that interview of Andy Warhol, that fucker might as well have been sucking his finger. Like, how much he would just be fingering his fucking lip and just be rubbing his shit. And then he, like, did a fuck you to the camera. Like, he had his middle finger down the whole time. And I was like, this motherfucker. Like, he knows.
Yeah.
Like, it's just all a joke. But, I do think that Guy Pearce might have been a little more tamed as Andy. But that's fine, because obviously this movie was about... Edie. Yeah. It wasn't about fucking. This wasn't the Andy Warhol show. It was the Edie Sedgwick show.
Yeah. And they really did portray Andy, even Sienna Miller as Edie Sedgwick, because she was like narrating the whole film, saying that Andy was a little boy in a man's body, and he still lived with his mom. His mom really still took care of him. Yeah. Because he had this, like, disease on his face. I can't remember what it was, but it would make his face really splotchy, and it made him really, really insecure. So he would wear makeup, and he didn't really have, like, he had something going on with his hair too, so he would always wear wigs. So he was that's why he loves being around beautiful people, because he doesn't see himself as beautiful. So that's why he loves beauty so much.
So he surrounds himself
around beauty. It's it, just surrounding yourself with things that you don't have. Which I can see a lot of people do that.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. But yeah, a lot of people, if you can look up his films, they're very avant-garde. And even the interviewer guy was like, even people would some say your films are a little pornographic. And he goes, yeah, isn't that great?
What's wrong with that?
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you. he takes those type. He would take criticism as like compliments. You know, he just
God love him for that.
He loved throwing society back in its face.
Yeah.
You know. He interviews Edie, and Edie's like, she's very open about talking about her past. That's where the whole self-aware thing comes from. Like, even though, yes, she was born to this high society family with money, her childhood was not that great. Yeah. They call it the Sedgwick way, was going to like a psych ward if you show any sign of anything. Like when she was a kid, she walked in on her dad having sex with the maid, I think, and he of course denied it, and he pretty much just shot her up with a bunch of pills, saying that she was hysterical, and like threw her in the
psych ward.
Yeah, the psych ward. And that happened with a lot of her siblings as well. And yeah, her childhood is really, really tragic, and it's awful. But I just love that she just came out and said it. But she wasn't doing it I don't think, to be boasting about it. It was just, yeah, this was me, and yeah, this is how it is. Like as in a matter of fact thing, you know. So she then gets cast in one of Andy's films. It's called Vinyl, and it was a different take It was inspired by Clockwork Orange. And it's an all-male cast, and they put her up. They gave her like a wig, like a blonde wig, and you kind of get a little image of pretty much the future of the iconic hair that she gets later. And the Jack Huston, he played Gerard, who was part of the factory family. He was so mad that Edie was in the film. It's supposed to be an all-male cast. Like, she doesn't even look like a boy. And I was like, yeah, no, she looks like a beautiful boy.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
She looks like a beautiful boy.
Yeah.
She is a boy.
And you get to see the film a little bit. It's a little strange. You got the guy being whipped and candle wax getting...
See, what I thought was interesting was about that particular scene was there was a guy that went up to Edie and starts like making out with her neck.
Yes.
And doing all this shit. Edie starts getting uncomfortable. And then she like looks at Andy, and Andy just does like a little eye twitch to the dude. And then the dude like... It was like Andy was fucking Dracula and just said, back off, bitch.
Yeah.
With an eye twitch. And
Yes.
the dude was like, okay.
Yeah.
Just like disappeared. And then fucking Edie was just like, oh my god, he's, yeah. And then she just goes back smiling and shit. And it was like, whoa,
Yeah.
dude.
Yeah.
Look at the power this fucker holds.
Yeah, exactly.
You know?
And also, like, he can tell right away that she was really uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Like, more so that you can tell, like, oh shit, like, she's uncomfortable with men because of something that something traumatizing happened to her.
Yeah.
Which gets kind of brought up a little bit. I don't think it's ever been proven that her father molested her.
Yeah, even her brother
Yeah.
was like kind of skeptical, I think.
Yeah,
but at the same time, he was like, but again, I don't know.
Yeah.
That's, he was like, I've never seen him do anything like that, but it's through her point of view, and I'm not her.
Yeah.
So it could have happened, but I don't know.
Yeah, you never know.
Yeah.
So after that, she pretty much just becomes part of the factory family, and she's just pretty much in the environment that she was looking for.
Yeah.
This family was a bunch of misfits that didn't belong anywhere, and they made their own family together. Yeah. She was this really just charismatic person, and you could see that she really was gaining like more confidence around the family. And Andy and their relationship, they became so close. Like, they would talk on the phone every day for hours and hours and hours. Like, they would both be in the tub. In the big tub. Oh my god, those huge tubs I've always wanted my entire life.
I fucking want a tub like that.
I know.
Too.
Oh my god, those beautiful tubs. Then she gets her famous haircut, which is she pretty much chops all her hair off and goes bleach blonde. I mean, a brown-eyed woman going blonde, that doesn't happen much, and a lot of people can't pull it off. Damn, did she pull it off?
Oh, yeah, she did.
Oh, my God. And everyone would say
I've never seen the real Edie Sedgwick with the brown, long hair like she had, but Sienna Miller looked a lot better when she had the short hair. In my opinion, the short blonde Edie look.
Oh, yeah.
Than when she had that long brown. But
yeah.
I feel like Sienna Miller, is she a natural blonde?
I believe so, because she's natural. They put brown contacts in her eyes. She has like gray eyes, I think.
All right, maybe that's why then.
I think
because I was like, damn.
Yeah, I think Sienna Miller. I don't know. I wouldn't say like she's, I don't know, natural blonde or dirty blonde. And,
yeah, I don't know.
There's so many different types of blondes out there.
The vanilla.
The vanilla, the dirty, the strawberry. But anyway, so yeah, that's pretty much it of like just the montage of her becoming close to the factory family, and then she starts to help Andy sell his paintings because she knew all the right people, like money wise, and she like even like was able to like convince her people to buy Andy's art because they were just like, I don't know, this isn't really gonna go with in my salon room. Like, how am I gonna? And she just uses her mother as like, oh, my mother has like 5 of these, and she's put them in every room in the house. Well, your mother always did have fine taste. Yeah. And then she's like, all right, I'll take it. So she really does help Andy a lot with that, and she just became this. They both were like socialites. Like they were always out and about, and they even started like dressing the same. Like she would sometimes dress in, she would put silver in her hair, and then she would kind of dress a little boyish. Like it was almost like they were becoming like twinsies.
Yeah.
It was really interesting there. And you can see she has that like her highest quality is her charisma. Mm-hmm. Like that's her highest stat.
Yeah.
You know, and
she got a 20 in that shit.
Yeah, she rolls a nat 20 every time. And just he and Edie they took New York by storm. Like everyone wanted to be her, be them, and she became the it girl.
Yeah.
Of the 60s. And like, cause around like the same time, cause I feel like a lot of people know more about Twiggy than Edie. Twiggy.
Who the fuck is Twiggy?
Twiggy, she was a British model, and she kind of pretty much did the same thing where she chopped off all of her hair, then she became like a star, and then she started the whole waif model movement.
I don't know what that is.
Waif, like very, very thin.
Oh, okay.
Very thin.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so London had their Twiggy, and then America had Edie. That was kind of the thing. And she even got a modeling contract.
Twiggy.
Oh, no, Edie. No, we're going back to
Oh, okay.
we're going back to Edie, yeah.
Back to Edie.
She and she just got this, she had this style. And it was like she wasn't even fucking trying. She said that she grew up dancing, and she would take hours and hours of dance classes, and she would just wear her leotard and tights around. She didn't feel like taking them off. And then it all of a sudden became a fucking style. She would wear the black tights, leotard, and like a shirt. Maybe like a long shirt or like a really short like dress thing. But she really started that fashion with the black opaque tights, and she would have boots on, and just, oh my god, just looking up any fucking image of her and she just looks fucking fabulous.
She does. I mean, she's very photogenic.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, even in the pictures. And here's what's bizarre. When I first fucking saw her in our apartment, when we moved in together, when I first saw her picture, I thought, and I swear to you, I would never have guessed that she was from the fucking 60s.
Really?
That fucking poster that you have.
Yeah, they're these like black and white like Polaroids that Andy Warhol took of her.
And I think it might have been the pixie cut hairstyle that kind of threw me off. Because again, I didn't know who the fuck Edie Sedgwick was. But the only thing that made me say, okay, that's from the 60s is because it said like Andy Warhol. And then you explained to me, who Edie was.
Yeah.
And I was like, I had no fucking idea who she was. That was bizarre. But I've, for the longest time, thought that she was just like a fucking modern model.
Yeah.
Showing my ignorance.
Well, no, it's not your ignorance. It's the fact that her look is timeless.
Yeah.
It could be worn at any time, pretty much. Like she had, like I said, like the eyeliner, the eyebrows, the short pixie blonde cut. Then she would wear these huge chandelier earrings. Gorgeous. And funny fact, I found a website, I can't remember because this was, like I said, like 10 years ago. They claimed that they did the jewelry for Factory Girl. They might have, whatever.
Yeah.
And they were selling them. I bought a necklace that Sienna Miller wore as, she wore them as earrings.
Yeah.
It was this like silver butterfly with these other dangly things down. I had to have one.
Yeah.
I had to have one.
You had to get it. I just had to have it.
But yeah, she really was kind of like on top of the world. Yeah. And she also had like a trust fund from her grandmother already. And it was a lot of money. But she had a bit of a spending problem.
Yeah, she was very Nick Cage. Very Nicolas Cage.
Yeah. After she got like the modeling contract, got the best picture is when she's in those leotard and tights and she's on like a coffee table or something and she's doing like an aerobasque. Like, oh my god, so gorgeous. And then that dress with the really long sleeves kind of looks like a straitjacket. Yeah,
and I love that story that I feel like it was Carrie Ellis's character, but in real life, the guy who was doing the interview, he was doing an interview and he was talking about that iconic look,
yeah,
and how she had those long shits, and he was, you could probably tell the story better than I can.
No, I won't. Tell me.
Okay, but when he was talking about they were at like a party or something that he threw or something, and then there was so much paparazzi, there was all these fucking people, and then he was like, all right, I gotta get Andy and Edie out of here. So they were hiding on a fire escape, right? And she had those, like, fucking 10 feet long, whatever the fuck, sleeves. And the paparazzi and all the fans were, like, looking up and they were trying to grab him. She's just, like, playing with him like cat and mouse.
Yeah.
And he was like, she just didn't have a care in the world. She was just playing with him. It was just...
Someone could have easily pulled her
down,
fallen to her death, and she just didn't care.
Yeah, he was just like, that's what we were all worried about. Because they were, like, jumping, trying to grab him. She was just like, oh, too bad. Oh, you missed. Bitch.
Yeah, and they would always also talk about the way she moved and danced.
Oh, very fluid.
Very fluid. Like, I'm not even going to try to describe it because it's indescribable. Just watch. Yeah. Even if you want to just watch Sienna Miller reenact it in the film, really, really great. Or look up Edie's stuff. Andy and Edie have dinner with Edie's mom and dad. Ugh, the dad. The worst.
Yeah, it was pretty rough.
Really rough. He pretty much was telling everyone what they should be eating. And the dad made this comment that, because it is known that Edie had an issue with anorexia. And then you kind of see why. Her father is like, hey, honey, why don't you get the sea bass with no butter? We don't want you blowing up again.
Oh, my God.
Yeah. Like, what
my God.
the hell is wrong with you? Like, see that, and that's another thing that really ties me with Edie, because I've had, it's still issues with my weight, that it is just these thoughts or these comments that were given to you, or they never leave you. Yeah. They never ever leave you, and people need to be a lot better when it comes to talking about weight. Yeah. And I think it's getting better now. Yeah. I do believe it's getting better, especially with like kids, like talking about just being healthy and not just, the size matters. Right. Size doesn't matter. It's, are you healthy? Yeah. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. But yeah, Edie's dad is just typical asshole. He's like boasting about his new Clydesdale, and Edie and Andy are trying to kind of talk about good things that are going on in their life, but the dad keeps like upping him, like upping them, like, and he says the horrible thing about Andy. He's like, oh, who was this man that has my little girl? And he's like rubbing her hands, like really creepy, like. Yeah. He's like, I don't have anything to worry about. He called him a queer, and he's like, okay, that's it, we're leaving.
And then he like shoots over and he just goes, do not make a scene! Or whatever the fuck her name. He didn't say Edie, like said her full name or whatever, Edwina or some shit.
Oh, Edith.
Edith. Okay, excuse me. Yeah, he was just like, do not make a scene, Edith!
Yeah, and he like throws her back down on the fucking chair. And poor Andy, he's just like,
what do I do?
Oh my God, I really don't know what to do here.
Would you like if I just did that? Yeah.
So in this film, it portrays that the factory was what introduced Edie to like drugs. Because, before that, she was at a restaurant with the factory family, and she's ordering all this stuff like cocktail shrimp, extra lemon, and extra cocktail, and put everyone on my tab. Yeah. Like, she's paying for everybody, and then Andy's like, he has all these like papers, and they're all of like Edie's bills. He's like, oh my God, like, how do you have all these bills? She's like, I know, like, I don't know what to do. Like, you might have to start paying me, because she's doing like more films with Andy, and he never really pays his actors or really anybody. Yeah. He kind of would use them. In a way. And he's like, well, I don't know. I just think what you're doing right now is just so glamorous. Oh, really? And of course that pushes the whole paying thing out of the way. Yeah. She just loved being the one to pay for everybody, but she was going down real fast, especially with the amount of money that she had. I don't remember exactly what the amount was, but even she moved into like a really nice apartment and got like a lot of really fancy shit. She meets Oh, Mina Suvari. She plays Richie Berlin, who is a real person. She actually got interviewed. She was one with the short hair.
Oh, yeah.
That got interviewed during the credits. And she said that she doesn't like kissing Andy Warhol's ass, but she ends up really getting enamored with Edie. Mm-hmm. I even think that she was in love with her.
Yeah.
And you can still even tell with the real person, the way she talked about her, and it's like, oh man, she really loved her. And Richie and Bridget were shooting up some drugs.
Yeah.
And they called it some type of, they mentioned Adderall, and I read that Adderall wasn't invented around that time. So that was kind of a mistake on the movie's end, but it was...
I think at the time the movie came out, though, Adderall was the fucking new wave. Not new wave, but it was really big at the time when the movie came out in 2006. Mm-hmm. So yeah, I think Adderall was the big, let's do it.
Yeah.
So that's probably why they did it.
Like the new cocaine.
Yeah, if you will. So they probably did that on purpose for the time.
Could have been. But yeah, they were shooting up a cocktail of some type of drug that was an upper.
Yeah.
So she tries it for the first time, and then you see her dancing around all crazy. She's done drugs before. This wasn't her first rodeo. You know?
Fuck with her, fellas! This wasn't her first rodeo.
No. And it even said that Edie was the one that was part of bringing drugs into the factory.
Edie was
one of them. Not that she was the culprit.
Oh, okay.
But it wasn't the factory
that got her going. Okay.
It was...
She was already doing
And, let's see, there's the next thing that happens, there's a party, huge celebrity party, and I think, who was, Mick Jagger was there. They called him Mick.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, he was there, and the Sid guy comes in to the factory and brings... Edie's, completely doped up, and he takes her. They pretty much leave the factory, go into a cab, and then go into this theater, and we get introduced to Hayden Christensen's character. On IMDb, he is just called musician.
Yeah.
Now, he is supposed to be, but threatened to sue the studio, if they use his name.
Really?
Yeah, and this is an ongoing thing. It was said that Edie Sedgwick had a love affair with, not an affair, but they were in love, and they were kind of in a relationship, and he just still to this day just denies that anything ever happened.
Huh.
Yeah. And even and they say some of his songs, let's see, which one? Did do a movie, one of Andy's movies with Edie. And allegedly these two songs are about Edie Sedgwick, Just Like a Woman and Leopard Skin Pillbox Hat.
Huh.
But still, and there's even a thing that she was pregnant with his baby, but she was forced to abort it because she did so many drugs.
What the fuck?
Yeah, this was after some accident that she got into, so she was forced to abort it. But yeah, deny. So he really didn't get a name. I don't even think they even called him anything. I don't
remember what they called him. I think they gave him a nickname or some shit.
They call him the folk singer.
Yeah.
Yeah, so she meets the folk singer and is completely love at first sight kind of thing. Mm-hmm. And her picture gets taken with the musician, and that goes on the tabloids. Yeah. Andy gets jealous immediately, and that's when he kind of starts to break away from her and doesn't really include her that much. And she did kind of lie to him and say oh, it was just nothing, it was just a photograph. She did hang out with the musician and Sid. They went to a diner and they talked, and they kind of Hayden Christensen was supposed to be the character that could have saved Edie from this drug factory world. No, that's not the case. I don't know. It was just it was a pure Hollywood move.
Yeah.
Pure Hollywood move. And even, I guess we'll get there.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, so
because I've got some shit to say about Hayden fucking.
Well, let's get there, because
we'll get there. You continue.
Oh, no.
Oh, you want to go there now?
Well, yeah. Let's talk about because I want to talk about the relationship. So tell me.
Done.
About.
Okay.
What's your thing with Hayden Christensen?
All right.
Which we did bring up previous episode with Star Wars and Hayden being Anakin and all that.
Fucking... So with Christensen, now good actor, sure, yeah, great actor, but. My problem with Hayden Christensen. I'm sorry, I'm getting fancy. It's not even a problem, really. It's not. It's okay. He brings a lot of himself, which, like any fucking artist, you do. You bring yourself into the role, okay? But you even said it. You just said it. And I kind of felt that I was supposed to be on his side for the film, and I wasn't.
Right.
I wasn't. I was like every time he'd come on and he would try to be charming and do everything.
And encourage
I was just
her to go back into art.
Right.
You need to make time. You need to do that. Do what you love.
And then he goes to the factory and Andy was trying to get him to be in one of the films or whatever the fuck. And his agent goes over to Andy and is all like, okay, how are we going to do payment? Because I have $10.
Yeah.
Is $10 gonna do it?
Yeah.
He goes, oh, $10. And fucking Hayden Christensen's all like, yeah, I'll just get the rest from my grandmother. Yeah. Well, no problem. Yeah. Okay, let's do this. How you want me to do this? Sit on the chair. No, man, I'm not gonna sit on the chair. I'm not gonna do it. What do you want me to do? I don't know. Do whatever you want to do. You're the director, man. Direct me. Okay.
Direct me.
Okay, sit on the chair. No, man, I'm not gonna sit on the chair. Okay. And there's just a fucking...
I call it, it's almost like a pissing contest.
Yeah, and this is where I got a little annoyed. Mm-hmm. Because we did get Hayden Christensen. Hayden Christensen is that type of actor that I feel if you put him as a bad guy in a film, if he was supposed to be, like, let's say, an abusive boyfriend or something like that, he wouldn't be able to do it.
Yeah.
Because I feel like his version of getting angry is pouty fucking 8-year-old.
Yeah.
It's, hey, man, let me get out of here, man. You don't know. I butchered them like animals, man. They were animals, and I treated them like animals. Get me out of this elevator, man. That's Hayden Christensen.
Really?
That's how I got it. I was like, okay, he's hyperventilating. He's like freaking the fuck out. This is Hayden Christensen. Would fucking the musician, aka do that? I mean, I don't fucking know.
I don't know, man.
I don't know either.
But talk.
That's the question.
Yeah,
it's Hayden Christensen. But again, I don't necessarily want to bash the actor because it's not. That's his style, and that's very much right. He can be his style because it works.
Yeah.
In that one film we watched, it fucking worked. I was like, whoa. But I'm going to save that for the pod because that would be a good one. I've never seen this particular film that I'm hinting at you.
Oh, I don't know.
Well, then you'll probably pick it. But anywho.
Okay, interesting.
He's in it.
Oh.
But, anywho, fuck it. And that's not necessarily a problem. But again, I just stand by, I felt like I was supposed to like him and I didn't.
Yeah, he was, well, the thing is...
I liked Guy Pearce more.
Yeah,
I mean,
but I'm not gonna, like, say 100% yes that he was supposed to be the knight on the white horse going to save her, but...
Well, Death wore a night horse.
Yeah.
White horse.
Right, yeah. But I feel like the movie makes all the men in Edie's lives the villain.
Yeah.
All the men in her life did something to fuck her up.
Oh my god.
I feel like that's what the film really was trying to do. Like, the men were her demise. When deep down, I know that she tried to get help, but she was an addict. The drugs got to her, But we're jumping a little too ahead, but that's fine.
I'm sorry, I didn't
No, but we're like...
I didn't mean to jump.
No, we're not jumping. We were just talking about Hayden Christensen. So she really does get completely alienated. And the thing is, they don't even really tell us why. Like, why was the rest of the factory, like, making, like, pretty much, like, dogging her for being with this musician? Or, like, why? I think because maybe Andy was doing it, they pretty much would follow whatever Andy did. I don't know. But Andy started to push Chuck in the direction of kind of turning on Edie a little bit. He pushes Chuck to be more of a director.
Oh, yeah, that one scene. Okay, go ahead.
Yeah. So Chuck has Edie in, like, just like a bra, panty. She's in a bed with a hunky dude. Can't remember his name.
Jim.
I
don't know. We call him Jim.
And he's just wearing, like, underwear. And Chuck's trying to push her for information, like, about the family, like, so God, I can't remember how it started, but he was just saying, "Oh, did your family find you attractive? Did you think your family was attractive? Like, oh, was your dad attractive?" It's like, "Oh yeah, my father is devastatingly handsome." Like, she's just trying to be her charming self, and he just kept trying to dig, like trying to push the whole like incest thing.
Yeah.
But then he would turn around and say, "Oh no, do you think that that Jim is attractive?" Yes. And then, "Oh yeah, she goes, yes, he is devastatingly handsome." It's like, well, then get a little closer to him. Why don't you just kiss him? And you can tell right away she's uncomfortable, and Andy's in the room just watching the whole thing. And
she was king of doing, I guess.
Yeah.
She was fucking watching.
And then Chuck was just like, "No, yeah, just get a little more intimate. Be rough with her. She likes that. Yeah, you like that, don't you?" Like, just being really, really creepy, and she's just getting more and more comfortable. Like, she likes those tough guys. Yeah, the ones that rough her up. Bringing up Daddy again. Like, "Oh, was Daddy like this with you? Was he like this with his little girl?" And this is actually like a real scene. You can find it. She like pushes the guy off and throws an ashtray at Chuck. That's actually
It's a real thing?
Yeah, you can find it on YouTube. And
I'm looking it up.
And she goes, "Are we done, Andy?" Oh wait, was it Andy? Well, yeah, she asks, "Andy, are we done?" And the guy that's monitoring the camera saying, like, "No, we're still rolling." Andy doesn't say anything, and she's just, what the fuck? So...
That's so fucked up.
I know.
That's so fucking fucked up.
Yeah, so fucked up. And then I believe the next scene, like, Edie starts to kind of, like, isolate herself more. Like, she's, like, in her room, like, just doing drugs and, like, drinking, and, like, she's just like almost like shaking too, and that's when Hayden Christensen comes in. They go for a bike ride, and there's that scene again where he's like pretty much trying to say that Andy Warhol is using her. Like, he's just almost like because she's talking about like Breakfast at Tiffany's and how she like loves Audrey Hepburn, and you know, that's why I wanted to act or something like that. And he's like, "Well, do you know the ending of that story? Like, do you know about, like, the book?" And she's like, "Well, no. Audrey Hepburn isn't in the book. Why would I see it?" And then she also says that she never even saw the whole film.
What book?
Breakfast at Tiffany's.
Oh, Breakfast at Tiffany's.
And he's like, "A man steals a girl's stories and she gets nothing." So he truly believes that Andy Warhol took advantage of her for money, her social status, and he's not paying her, and he's just gonna bleed her dry until she's left with nothing, and then he's gonna still be famous. And she's like, "No, that's not true. I can't hate him," kind of thing. And she was like saying, "Oh, what, you're not into materialistic things? What about this big expensive bike you got here?" He's like, "You think I give a shit about this thing?" he
revved it up and fucking sent it into the lake.
Yeah.
Yeah.
His reaction was really adorable, though. He just put his hand over his mouth, like,
yeah,
"Oh my God.
I just fucking did that.
I just did that. That's really funny, but how the hell are we gonna get back?"
I know, that's what I thought, too. I was literally like, okay. So I did kind of, like, have a little blast at the Christian. Mm-hmm. But I will say... Again, this is just his style, folks. It's his style of acting, and that is fucking fine. I have a style of my own. I did like that. I liked that moment. I liked that he did that. I just have that problem when he brings that fucking whiny emotion in. Mm-hmm. Again, takes me back to fucking Jules singing. I have a problem with it.
You just don't like the whiny bullshit.
I just don't like the whiny bullshit, okay? I don't. But anywho, no, you were absolutely right. It was a really adorable moment.
It was funny, yeah, it was cute. They did have some good chemistry.
Yeah, they did.
Yeah, so I don't even know where they ended up. They ended up in some cabin.
Yeah, I think that was a cabin or
something. And they're like getting really cozy by the fire, and she starts to tell a really interesting story. I don't want to get like too into it. It's something that had to do with like one of her brothers. One of them committed suicide, and then another got into like her and her brother got into an accident on the same day, but they were in different states.
Yeah, the one died and she lived.
Yeah. That scene, not Edie. Oh my God, I said Edie. Sienna Miller, she didn't make up the story, but she improv that whole thing.
You're fucking kidding.
Yeah,
You are fucking kidding.
I swear to God.
Oh my God.
Mm-hmm. Bra fucking bow girl.
That's fucking off, man.
Yeah.
Hat is fucking off.
Hats are off. Tits are sweating. It was amazing.
Dicks are
Dicks are throbbing?
Dicks
Is that what you
what?
were about to say?
What?
Anyway, well, speaking of dicks are throbbing, after that story...
Who's dick?
The-
Hayden Christensen.
Because...
The dick!
They did, yeah.
The dick!
She got the D.
She did! And that was a very intense fucking sex scene, I must say. I must say.
I have the uncut version of the movie.
That was uncut?
Yeah. It was like the extended, unrated, uncut.
I was about to say, dude, that was some fucking hardcore shit. I was like, back in that time, I don't recall anything being that fucking hardcore, but okay.
Yeah, no. Yeah. I'm sure that scene was cut.
Well, maybe, I don't know.
Was cut a lot in theaters.
It was 06. I guess it was kind of the start of when all that shit started happening.
So...
It started getting more,
after that...
Let's be more sexual.
Andy kind of has this thing where he's kind of doing like one... It's like almost like it's like one more thing to try to kind of get Edie back. He introduced her to his mom. They go to the house. They cook dinner together. Like she's chopping heads off chickens and they're dancing around. And the mom is so happy that Andy's with Edie.
My son isn't gay.
Yeah, well, yeah, because he's like, because she talks in like, it's like Czech, I think. I can't remember. Like, well, why don't you find a nice girl? Like, I've always wanted Andy to find a nice girl, and
I want to be grandmother.
You make my Andy so happy.
Yes.
And then Andy, he rolls a $50 bill, wraps it in this red bow, and he's like, I wanted to give you this. I know it's only $50, but I just want to hear you say genius more.
What a fucking bitch.
Yeah, Edie kept calling Andy a genius.
Yeah.
You know, saying it to his mom and blah, blah, blah. She's like, yeah, I just love hearing you say genius. I dream of genius. Because one of their favorite TV shows was I Dream of Jeannie. Mm-hmm. So that was almost like his last thing to kind of get... to keep Edie. I don't know why he thinks he's losing her though. Like it's just it's really weird with that. And I wish they explained it more in the film, but they didn't. You kind of just had to guess. And but also Edie is just doing like more and more drugs. And this is the scene that you were talking about with the singer comes to the factory and does the whole movie thing, and you get a shot of Edie. You see her where they shoot up drugs. It's on the butt cheek. She's got like bruises all over her ass. And you can tell Andy's just like, does not like it.
And see, I didn't get that. Okay. What I didn't get is I didn't get why he didn't like it. So did he not like anybody doing drugs, or did he not like...
I think she was doing it to more excess than others.
Okay.
Because even in another scene, the other factory people who do drugs make fun of her doing drugs. Like, it's really weird.
Huh.
But yeah, so that whole pissing contest with Andy and yeah, it's just like, so this is where you this is your where you paint your can of beans. This is a nice place. How do you pay for all this?
That's really great impersonation.
Yeah. Is it?
Yeah.
I can do the Hayden.
Keep going. Keep going. Give me some more Hayden.
It's like, come on, man, direct me. Come on, man. He's like, what are we doing here? And he's like, oh, it's just a screen test. No, man, this is your screen test. You're making my face turn red. I don't know what else to say.
Oh my God, just say something.
Oh my God.
Just keep speaking like him.
Okay, well. After the screen test, and he's like, oh my God, that went so great. Yeah, that was amazing. Oh, you're such a beauty. He's like, okay, whatever, man. And he leaves. Edie leaves with him, and she's like, what the hell was that? Why would you talk to him like that? And he's like, man, you don't see this? He's using you. You should hate him. And she's like, I don't hate him. Oh my God, you're like,
I fucking love it! Oh, keep going.
That's pretty much it.
No, man.
He doesn't he say man?
Yeah, man.
Come on, man. Even like to Edie, he calls man. I don't know.
Come on, man.
Come on, doll. Oh. Don't touch.
Oh, it went in my eye.
I have to take a picture.
Oh, it went in my eye.
Oh my God.
All right.
Okay. Pause.
Okay, moving on.
Wait, no, you have wine all over your fucking face.
Fuck it, we're leaving it. Go.
Well,
keep going.
Wipe it. Your face
I got
was
it.
something.
I got it, man.
All right,
I got
man.
it, man.
All right, man.
All right, man.
All right, man.
You need
Come on.
Come on. All right, let's keep going.
So the elevator stops. Hayden Christensen is leaving. He's just like, come with me. Come, leave with me.
Mm-hmm.
And she just didn't take it. She's like, no, I can't.
Yeah.
He leaves, walks away, and Edie's narrative, the narrator, being the narrator, she says, that was the biggest mistake of my life, not taking his hand. A lot of people didn't like that because it was that, the was the night and that he was going to rescue her and everything would have been better. I don't know. That's the thing, like, no one knows because he denies all this shit.
Yeah.
You know? Like, he threatens to sue. Like, honestly, I feel bad. We probably should, like, bleep his voice because I'm afraid that he's going to find us and fucking...
Technically, we're not making fun. Technically, we're not imitating him. We're imitating Hayden.
Well, no, we're bringing his name up about him and Edie Sedgwick's relationship.
Okay, we'll bleep him.
Maybe.
So, okay.
Maybe it'll be funny. I don't know.
Maybe. Okay, well, let's change his name then. So let's call him.
the folk-
Let's call him Richard Byland.
No, he's the folk. Let's just call him the folk. He's the folk singer.
Okay, the folk singer Richard Byland.
Yeah, the folk singer that plays guitar and
Robert Dyland.
Anyway.
Sorry.
So after the folk singer leaves, again, she gets deeper into drugs. She's trying to contact Andy, but Andy won't pick up her calls. Anytime someone else would answer, Andy, it's Edie. I'm sorry, he's not in right now. Like, he just completely, like, just drops her. So it seems in the film. Doesn't really say exactly, like, why they kind of just stopped. Like, being not like a thing, but like a partnership. Because, I mean, really, like, she did everything. She promoted his work. She was in his films. I don't know. Yeah. But Edie just goes into the factory, and they're filming a chick who they claim is like an Edie lookalike. And they're interviewing her, and she's this young chick who was just at a diner, and the people were like, oh my god, you look so much like Edie. Why don't you try to be more like Edie, except for the whole doing too many drugs thing. And Edie's like, Andy, she doesn't look anything like me. And the chick goes, Andy, she isn't anything like me. And the factory people are like, oh my god, that is so spot on. That is so perfect. You're gonna be a big star, something superstar. That's a great ring to it. And then Andy finds, and this is like another like montage of Edie going into more and more drugs. Her hair is completely lost. Her, like, the blonde. I didn't say the gentleman, I can't remember the actor's name, who was like the family's like accountant or something. He kept
Richard Rich.
Yeah, Richie Rich's dad.
Yeah.
Dad, not found.
Dad, not found.
He was the one that was kind
Try
of
natural tolerance.
He was the one that was trying to, like, warn her, Edie, like, you are blowing your money. Your father is going to start being more strict with you. Like, your father pays for half your rent. It's called tough love.
Yeah.
But,
You two got that?
Yeah. You two, yeah.
You two got that? Tough
You two
love.
got, yeah, that's tough love.
That's tough love.
So, yeah, like, the more she just, again, downward spiral of drugs, and Andy's at this venue where this band called the Velvet Underground.
That's a name.
Yeah, and it's a real band. The music is very, very interesting. And there was this, like, blonde, tall, like, Amazon woman. Her name's Nico.
Is she Norwegian?
I think so. She was, like, something exotic like that. It was like he met his new muse or his new... And he did get involved with the Velvet Underground. I mean, that's not the story we're talking about here, but it was like Andy moved on to another woman who's going to get him to the next level or something else to be inspired by. So... Richie, Mina Suvari's character, is still there taking care of her, and even the real Richie, she's like, it was a full-time job to look after her. And it's also said that she was like a kleptomaniac, like she just stole things just for like for no reason, like it was never like diagnosed.
Edie?
She was Edie. So she just had, and she was also kind of like a hoarder too. Yeah, like you can even see in her like apartment is just, ugh. And Edie tries to get Richie to call the chick that signed her from, I believe it was Vogue or like some modeling agency. Like, call her for me and see if she'll put me under contract. And she goes, darling, I think you're fabulous, but the thing is just with the drugs and the films, people think you've gone vulgar, so we can't really sign you right now. And he just goes, vulgar. So no one will hire her now. Yeah. And so there's a scene where Andy and the gang are, I believe they're at the same restaurant they were earlier in the movie where Edie was paying for everything and all the debt and stuff. She is just a mess. Eyes like a raccoon. Like, she just like completely turned her eyes like black with makeup, dirty hair, just disheveled, and she confronts. It's the confrontation. How dare you? You made a fool of me. No one will hire me, and I have nothing. And he's like, what do you mean? And I gave you $50. Did you spend that already? Like, he's just being so just like, well, why don't you?
Wasn't that like weeks? Wasn't that like weeks ago?
Yeah,
you get
$50. Like,
fucking bucks.
I know it's the 60s, but
even then, man.
Well, no, I looked up her trust fund, and it was like $82,000, and no, it was like $80,000 trust fund, and in 2019, like, that would have been worth like over $600,000 or something. So, like, just to give you an idea of how much money she did have and spent it. But she's like, $50 fucking dollars? She's like, Andy, I have nothing. And he's like, well, why don't you, I'm sure there's someone in this restaurant who's like a producer. Maybe they'll put you in the movie. Yeah. She's like, yeah. She goes like, I don't need you. I'll be fucking fine without you. You think I can't stand on my own without you? And he's like, well, what are you going to do? Are you going to go live with your boyfriend and his wife?
Yeah, what the fuck?
Yeah, so he tells Edie, well, he doesn't really tell her, but there's a newspaper saying folk singer marries some blah, blah, blah girl. And she just breaks down even more and leaves. But something did happen. Like, Edie moves to the Chelsea Hotel, which is a very iconic hotel in New York City. She, like, falls asleep with, like a cigarette lit, and then, like, goes on fire, and she, like, burns her hand really bad. You don't see it in the film, but again, they don't tell you anything. She has this wrap around her wrist, and you're automatically supposed to assume that it happened. But the Sid and Hayden Christensen's character, the folk singer, there is an article about her, socialite, blah, blah, almost, burns her entire Chelsea building. And Sid's like, should we do something? Like, should we, like, send her money or, like, something? And you kind of get, like, the folk singer just like, I don't know, call her or go find her and see if there's anything that she needs. Yeah. And the wife's like, honey, or something, blah, blah, blah. He's like, nothing. Obviously keeping it from his wife. Right. But yeah, Edie like goes completely low. She finds this seedy drug dealer that. Another thing people bring up, like in the film, she was never the one to eject herself. Huh. Everyone else was always ejecting her with drugs. Same thing, like, these were people doing it to her. Yeah. Like, not putting any blame on her. Mm-hmm. Which, for a movie, you want to keep that.
Make her like the heroine.
Make her, yeah. 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 Make her the tragic heroine. But Sid does try to help her, because she walks into her apartment, and you see Edie is just, she's completely naked, and someone's filming her. There's like 3 guys in her apartment, and it's the drug dealer, the guy that the drug dealer claims was a friend of Alfred Hitchcock. And there's this other dude taking all of, like, her fucking silverware. Yeah. And she's like, is that guy stealing all my silverware? Oh, he's just borrowing it. Oh, you let this guy fuck me, and now he's stealing my silverware. So they pretty much filmed her having sex with a stranger while on drugs, and now he's, like, stealing from her. And he's like, who's this guy? Oh, it's the friend of Alfred Hitchcock. He's, like, film guy. It's just so fucking creepy. And the guy that was stealing the silverware, it's a horrible moment, but it's actually, like, this moment was kind of funny. He puts on this, like, fur coat of hers, and he's like, oh wow, this is really nice. And the drug dealer's like, hey, can he borrow this coat? And she goes, that looks really good on you.
Yeah, that looks really good.
So Sid comes in, shoos the guys away, and Edie's just still like, she even like grabbing like a big bottle of vodka, still like just medicating herself, and she's saying like, oh, to Sid, I said it all to him. I told Andy to go fuck off. And you really have to pay attention to the scene, but Sid almost, I can't tell if either Sid said it to her to get her out of the house, or she assumed that Sid was going to take her to the folk singer.
Yeah.
They get into a cab, and she starts to get like really paranoid. She's like, where are we going? Like, I think she believes that he's going to take her somewhere to like a hospital, or take her somewhere where she's going to get like locked up or something. Yeah. So that's when she gets out of the cab, and the scene from the opening comes up again of her running away. And that was from her running away from Sid in the cab. And then it cuts to Edie years later. She's at the treatment center, like talking to her doctor, saying, you know, I'm doing a lot better. I have a show opening at a gallery for her art, and it gives you like that hope of, oh my God, she's gonna get through this. She slowly walks away, and then there's a little text that says that Edie, she got married. She did go to like a inpatient program. She met a guy that was a patient. They got married in like 1972, but they were only married for 4 months because she passed away in 1972. Like, they only were married for like 4 months. Yeah. And it was from a drug overdose. But there were years where she was able to stay away, but then it just didn't work out that way. And yeah, that's the end of the movie. It's a sad ending. But what happened, right. That's
life.
It's life. That's the story. I will always think of Edie. My favorite parts of the movie were her coming out and being her own and inventing her own style, and her getting what she thought she wanted, or maybe what she did want. I don't know. She was really interesting because it was hard to tell exactly what she did want. Did she want to be an actress? Did she want to be a model? Did she want to be an artist? And that's like another thing that I identify with her. Like, she had a lot of like little, I won't say like little talents, but like a lot of people would say a jack of all trades, but a master of none. Like, you can either be really, really good at something and really succeed. Like, you have to be good at one thing in order to succeed. But if you have like a bunch of talents and don't know what to do with it, that's because you aren't focused on one thing. Yeah. Like, I feel like she had so many talents and didn't know how to put it out there. Whatever she does, it doesn't matter if it was the acting or art, whatever her star quality and her artist, like, that needs to be portrayed in whatever she does. And it's a hard thing to do. And it might sound vain, but I identify with that, So yeah, that's Factory Girl. I really do encourage people to give it a try.
Yeah.
But if you want to see some like really good acting, but if you really want to get an idea of like Edie Sedgwick, watch her Chow Manhattan movie. That was the last movie she did. And you know what? And like, YouTube is so different than it was 10 years ago. Yeah. You know what I mean? So like, you can just go on YouTube like you did and see all the Edie and Andy stuff. Yeah. And it's good stuff. It was a crazy time to be alive, and I really wish I got to see it. Yeah. But yeah, anyway, would you watch this movie without me?
That's a really hard question. Like, I think I would.
Really?
But I don't know, because I found the film really interesting. I think if you were watching it, I would join you.
Yeah.
But I don't think that I would personally just say, I feel like watching Factory Girl today. Let me put that on. But if you were watching it, I think I'd join you.
Yeah.
Or if you brought it up, I would watch it. Other than that, probably not.
Okay.
And it has nothing to do with the bad. I did enjoy this film, but like you said earlier, I was lost as a fucking cucumber. I did not know what the hell was going on. I was just like, what? It's like they expected you to already know the shit.
Yeah.
It's like, I don't know, man. But,
yeah. You can't expect everyone to know.
Yeah. Great film, great fucking acting on a lot of people's parts, but not really my cup of tea, I guess you could say.
Right. But okay, let's go to our Shakespearean notebook. Who was the spongy Nookshotten Geck?
Oh, Andy Warhol, for sure.
You believed he was the soft, fool, confusing, deceptive...
Indeed.
Yeah. Oh,
In fucking deed.
I agree with you.
I stand fucking by it,
He's a fool, object of scorn.
Yeah, he was fucking nutty as shit. And it was funny because there were parts of me that was like, oh man, I feel for Andy. Because of probably Guy Pearce's fucking amazing charisma.
His ability to make any character sympathetic.
Right. And so I was like, man. But at the same time, I was like, dude, he's such a bitch. He's fucking such an asshole to this girl.
Yeah, I just think he just wasn't aware, or he refused to be aware. Because there was even, at the end of the film, I forgot to mention, there was an interview, that happened like the same week or whatever that Edie Sedgwick died. He was just, I don't know what Andy was talking about. He was talking about like, it was something blah, blah, blah. And he's like, and your relationship with Edie Sedgwick. He's like, oh, well, that was such a long time ago. And, like, oh, I just don't really remember. He's like, oh, did you know that she died? And he just really didn't say anything about it. Because he even said, like, it's easier to be detached. And I think that's what he did, is he just detached himself from the situation, not knowing either what to do, or he did know. You'll never know, because he claimed that he had no idea that she was spending all this money. Like, he even called her the poor little rich girl. Yeah. And that was a film that they did together, that they took to Paris. But I don't know. I don't know. Yeah, that's the thing. Like, there's so many things about this film that are so cool, because you can research and go dig and try to find the real answers. But anyway, I can keep going, but what do you have for me now? Okay, so again, the fucking cogs are turning, and I'm trying to figure out what'll be the best thing. So, I'm kind of thinking, let's go action-esque. Action! Cause I'm gonna need a true survivor. I want some action! Anywho, not necessarily action. Yeah, I guess. So, you and I might have watched this together already. I don't know. But it's a good one to talk about. It's a personal fave. It's really good. It's an Arnold film. Mm-hmm. So I'm thinking let's fucking do The Terminator. The first one. Because the new one just came out on DVD. And I do want to see it. I believe it just came out on DVD. I don't know. What, like the
newest one?
The newest one with, what's her name?
With fucking...
Hamilton? Or something.
Linda Hamilton. There you go. Yeah.
I thought that was supposed to be in theaters.
It was in theaters. I guess it didn't do too hot because it's already almost on fucking
wow.
DVD. But anywho,
I swear to God, that was like just out.
I don't know.
Wow.
Maybe I don't know.
Okay.
But anywho, I don't know. I could be completely wrong. But I believe it's coming out. I believe if it's not already out, it's coming out on DVD. So I was like, oh, this is a good time. Let's do the first fucking Terminator. Let's bring in some fucking Arnold and Linda Hamilton. All right. So I'm thinking, did you watch this film with me already? I don't know. I think so. I honestly feel like I remember only seeing the second one. Okay, then you probably haven't watched the first one. I think we have watched it, but like a while ago. But well, if we watched it, the last time we watched it was LA, because we sure as fuck haven't watched it since we've moved to St. Louis. And I think that might have been my first time actually watching the entire film. Yeah. Because I've only seen like clips and shit and heard shit. Yeah. So yeah. All right, good. So everyone, Terminator. It should be streamable, I think. I don't know. Just check your streaming sites. Mm-hmm. But if not, it's a great movie to rent or buy. So anywho, in my opinion. So, anywho, we'll see you cats next time with The Terminator next week. Everybody, please, thank you so much for joining us today. Like, subscribe, go ahead and share us if you don't mind. Yeah, share us with, like, one friend. Yeah, one friend. One friend a week. Yeah. Yeah, it adds up. Please leave us a review on Apple Podcasts. It'd be really helpful. And yes, we are also all over social media, guys. I feel like I'm starting to get a little bit more of a hang on Twitter. Maybe, I don't know. With a war. But yeah, we are movies_pod on Twitter. On Instagram, we are movies.contemplation_pod. Our email is movies.contemplation@gmail.com. And we're also on Facebook, Movies and Contemplation. Thank you guys so much for watching. We love you so much. Oh my God. Bye.